We're going to start on our backs today. And you are free to bend your legs if that feels better to your body. You can rest your arms out to the side or maybe place a hand on the belly and a hand on the chest just to help guide the breath. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, I invite you to do that now. Dropping into the inner world of feeling. Maybe beginning by feeling the weight of the body on the ground. Noticing the places that feel the heaviest. Maybe the heels or the head or the sacrum. Just see for yourself. And then start to connect with lightness as you deepen your breath. And feel the front of the body expanding and lifting up away from the ground. Breathing in even deeper, filling the belly, the ribs, the chest. Now, if your hands are not on the ground, please bring them to the ground with the palms facing up. And as we inhale, we'll rotate the arms out, moving the thumbs down toward the ground. So left hand rotates left, right hand rotates right. It comes from the shoulders. And then as you exhale, just release that. So you're not rotating the other way. You're just letting go of that inhale reach. And just continue like that a few more times. Turning the palms out away from each other as you breathe in. And then relaxing. And see if it can start to feel as though the movement is an expression of the fullness of your breath. It can be very subtle. And then let the legs move likewise, turning slightly out on the in-breath and relaxing back on the out-breath. And then let the leg movement come to rest. Let the hands come back to stillness. And you might see if the body has gotten so used to that movement that you kind of miss it now. Or maybe it still happens without effort. Continue with the rhythm of the breath, flowing deep and slow, and bring the knees into the hands. On the inhale, you let the arms straighten and the knees move away from the belly. And on the exhale, hug the knees in. Squeeze all the air out. Just kind of relaxing on the inhale so that they move away. Pulling in on the exhale. So in a way, this is kind of opposite of the last thing we did, where the inhale is more kind of passive and just a return to neutral, and the exhale is more active. And then on your next inhale, open the knees out to the side. Exhale back in. Inhale out and really take your time. Take advantage of that big opening in the lower belly and fill the breath in. Going at your own pace. And the next time the knees come out to the side, hold them there. And see if you can let go of the muscles of the thighs and just relax the legs under the weight of your hands. Release the resistance. Feel the breath. And then come back in. Circle the knees around. Move with the rhythm of your breath. And circle the other way. And then bring the feet to the ground. Rest the knees against each other. Nice, deep, slow breath. And then roll over onto either side. Resting your head on your arm. And then we'll take the hand to the top foot and pull the heel to the buttock. And then reach the knee away from the other knee, like you're trying to get that leg straight down from the body. See if the breath can come all the way up into the chest and shoulder of the arm that's reaching behind you. And then kick the foot away from the buttock a little bit, or as much as you can. It'll probably only go a little bit. The arm is only so long. Good. And then release, stacking the knees. And then bring the underside arm out from under your head, straight out from the body. And then take the other arm, lift it up, and bring it over to the floor behind you, turning your head toward the back hand. Deep breaths here. Letting your into the ground. And then we'll take the back arm, lift it up overhead, roll the knees over to the other side. Rest your head on what is now the underside arm. And bring your hand to your top foot. Pull it in toward the buttock and reach that knee away from you. Try to continue to breathe into the whole body. And then kick the foot away from the buttock as much as you're able to. Maybe feeling the breath deepening in the ribs. And then release the knee back onto the other one. Take that underside arm out from under your head and rest it horizontally out in front of you. And bring the other arm back behind you and turn your head to face the back arm, coming into a twist, revolve belly pose. Feeling the breath moving from the bottom hip to the top shoulder. And relaxing the shoulder down. See if you can connect with that same feeling like we had in the beginning of class of the body kind of opening outward on the inhale and relaxing back on the exhale. And then bring the back arm back over to the front. Press that hand into the ground. Lift yourself up, coming to sitting. Pull the flesh of your buttocks back behind your sit bones. And bring the heel together in front of you, making a square of your legs. Not close in like a diamond, but out like a square. And then flex your feet. That's it. Reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Resting the arms, dropping the head. Deepening the breath all the way down to the base of your spine. Exhaling and relaxing down. And then slowly roll yourself up. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale the arms down. Keep the hands behind you. Take the legs out wide. And then just press into the hands back. Lift your hips and try to bring them forward a little bit more. Flex the feet. Okay. And then just push into the hands a little bit so that you're not kind of leaning back, but really nice and upright. Connect with your breathing. And if you're feeling like this is too easy and you want to deepen the stretch, bring the hands in front of you. Exhale. If you can, hinge forward. So the hinging forward is not rounding the back or dropping the head. We want to keep the spine straight and long, or else we're actually not deepening the stretch, we're weakening the stretch. So letting the heart lift and just there's some give. Hinge at the hips. If it doesn't happen, don't force it. Just stay in your aligned spine. Feel free to keep the hands behind you and just work with staying tall and lifted through the heart, because ultimately, the straighter and taller your spine is, the deeper your stretch is. This thing is really an impediment. Up, inhale. Exhale, bring the left arm down in front of the left leg, the right arm over. Roll your gaze up. Press your elbow into your thigh and roll your left ribs under and forward. Keep the feet flexed, pressing out through the heels and reaching out long through the right hand as you inhale. And softly letting go as you exhale. Stretch out of those fingers. Lift the right arm up, lift the body up, release the arm. Just notice how the breath feels on the right side versus the left side. Does one side feel more spacious? And then exhale down to the right, bringing the arm in front of the leg, reaching the left arm out, reaching the heels out, and breathing long up those left ribs, gazing up toward the sky, sinking down toward the earth. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, relaxing. Inhale, release the arm down. Your breath. And then help the legs back around to the front. Maybe wiggle them a little bit. Let's come up. We'll have the hands a little bit in front of the shoulders. We're going to do a dolphin pose. So you're going to bend your elbows and flow the hips back and continue in one fluid movement through the ocean. So you're not pausing in a brief cobra pose. You're not pausing in a child pose. coordinating with breath. You can do one breath for one whole movement cycle, or you can do two. Cobra pose. We'll hold there. And then roll shoulders back. Ears broad. So maybe think about rotating the right hand out to the right and the left hand out to the right. Be on your feet. You're not on your knees with your thighs off the ground. Oh, you're not hearing me. Ah, okay. Let's push the hips back and come into child's pose. And you can have either the arms out in front and make it active. If your forehead doesn't touch the ground in this pose, then I suggest stacking your hands or your fists under your forehead so that the head can rest. And then we'll all extend the arms overhead. Walk to the right, bringing the right hand beside you, push into the floor, send the left back, and then reach out long through the left hand. And breathe deep into the left side, inflating and deflating. And then take it over to the other side. Left beside you, pushing into the ground. Right arm reaching across on the diagonal. Lengthening the breath up the right side. And bring it back to center, arms extended overhead. Keep the hands here. Lift up onto hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide. Curl the toes. Take a breath in. And then exhale and lift the knees, but keep the knees bent. Push forward into the hands, sending the hips back and try to fold your ribs toward your thighs. Drop your head toward the ground. Roll your shoulders down your back, keeping the knees bent, just focusing on the length from the fingertips pressing forward to the sit bones reaching back. And imagine that you can breathe into that whole length. And then straighten the left leg and press the left heel into the ground. Slow, long, smooth breath. And then straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, press the heel down. Pushing forward into the hands, shifting weight into that back heel. And then press both heels down, still sinking the chest and ribs. Let the head completely drop down. Roll the inner elbows up. Press into the fingers. Breathe. And then walk the feet up to the hands. Soften the knees, hanging over your bent legs. Take hold of opposite elbows and sway from side to side. And return to center, release the hands. Keep the knees bent, tuck the chin, roll yourself up slowly. And bring the arms forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. A few more like that. One more. And rest the arms. Let the eyes close. Feel the weight of the feet on the ground. Feel the fluidity of the breath moving inside you. Imagining sinking deeper into the ground with each exhale. Imagine becoming more soft and pliable with each inhale. Then bend the knees and sink weight into the left foot and gently open eyes. Place your right ankle above your left knee, with the knee out to the side. Looking at a spot in front of you, you're going to take your gaze down as you bend deeper into that knee, and fold over your legs. You can let the arms hang down. You can bring one hand to the knee and one hand to the foot. You can bring that right hand inside the triangle and wrap the hands around the calf. See whatever works for you. If you're struggling with the balance, you're flexible enough to touch the floor, you can touch the floor, or you can move yourself completely over to some place where you can hold on. And lift yourself back up. Release the foot back down. Close the eyes. Feel the stability, the solidness, and the softness and fluidity. Expanding and contracting with each breath. Bend the knees. Open the eyes, looking at a spot in front of you. Place the left ankle on top of the right knee. Connect with your breath. That's going to stabilize your mind and your body. And then let your eyes stabilize you by looking at a spot and tracing a line all the way toward your right foot as you bend deeper into that right knee and hinge over your legs. Taking whatever arm position works for you. And coming back up, releasing the foot, closing the eyes a moment, finding stability again. This is perfect. Everybody's doing what they need to be doing for their body. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know. The technology gods are not happy with me today. So we're going to be on our feet with the left leg just a little back, not all the way back, not like a full warrior stance back, like 2/3. And then we're going to bend the front knee. And then we're going to really tuck the hips under and forward. Good. And then I'm going to take the left arm up and then place the hand on the back and bring the right hand to the elbow and press down. So while the hand is pressing down, the left foot is pushing into the ground and the left hip is coming forward. And then feel the space between the ribs and the hips, breathing. And inhale the arms up, straighten the front leg, fold over the leg. You can let your arms just hang down. You can take hold of your front leg. You can rest the hands on the ground if your body does that. You can take hold of opposite elbows. See what works for you. And then push into the front foot and pull back that right hip. Aiming the left one forward a little bit more. And then with each exhale, scoop the lower belly in and up. And then lift your head. Bring your left hand as close to your right foot as it'll go. Maybe it'll go on top of it. Maybe it'll cross over to the outside of the foot. Bring your right hand to your hip. Inhale and press the hip back and bring the heart forward. So you're straightening the torso parallel to the ground. And then as you exhale, roll your left ribs under and to the right. Roll your right shoulder up. Take your gaze up and then float the right arm up. Keep bringing your right hip back. Keep breathing your body long. Exhale, roll your navel up toward your right hand. And relax down. Bend the front knee. Bring the hands to the ground. Step forward with your back foot. And roll all the way up. One breath here, reaching up. And exhaling down. Inhaling and exhaling. Step the right foot back about 2/3 of the way. And then really stay rooted into that foot and bend the left knee. And feel that bend almost like it's taking the tailbone with it, tucking the hips under. So simultaneously pushing back through the right thigh, down into the right foot, and bringing the hips forward. Good. Right arm up. And bend the elbow, place the hand on the upper back, bring the other hand onto the elbow, and press down. Feel both feet on the ground, and almost Feel how the heaviness of the feet pressing down creates a sense of lightness in the upper body. Maybe the hips and pelvis feel a little more buoyant and you can press forward through the hips. Breathe deeply up under those ribs. And then inhale the arms up, straighten the front leg, and fold forward over your leg, letting yourself hang down, taking opposite elbows or releasing hands to the ground or just letting the arms hang. If your hands do touch the ground though, make sure you don't have a bunch of weight in your hands because that's going to prop you up rather than facilitate letting go. And we'll push forward into that left foot and lengthen the left hip back and scoop the lower belly in and up as you exhale. Release the head down. Pyramid pose. Okay. And lift your head. If you can, bring your right hand to the ground. Hopefully, if you don't reach the ground, you have a prop. Some of you I know do work with props. And then you can bring the hand as close to that left foot as possible, or for a deeper twist, even to the outside of the foot. And we bring the left hand to the hip. Don't hurry past this part. It's important. We're going to inhale and lengthen, bringing the ribs and chest forward and the hip back. So if we don't make space between the vertebrae, we're not going to be able to twist as easily. Good. And then once you're long through the spine, you can start bringing those right ribs under you and to the left. Turn your gaze up and to the left, and then float your left arm up. Staying long through the spine, long in the breath. And release down. You can bend the knee if you need to touch the ground, and step forward. Roll yourself up. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale and fold with straight legs over the legs. And then bend your knees. Lower your buttocks down all the way to the ground. Come to lie on your back. Have knees bent and the feet on the floor. Lift your hips, tuck under. Release down. Release the legs and shake the legs out. If you're using an eye pillow, you can place that on your eyes now. And then let your arms rest out away from the body with the palms up. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, sinking the weight of the body into the earth. Inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the jaw open, slightly parting the lips. Inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the activity of the mind, letting go of everything except the feeling of the breath. And then even letting go of the activity of breathing. Let it become a passive awareness. Just noticing that the body is breathing, not doing it, receiving it. And see if you can let your awareness settle on the feeling of the breath. Can you be with the breath without controlling the breath? Just witnessing, resting with the breath. Letting the body rest on the earth. Deeply relaxed. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Into your heart, move fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead, take a deep breath, stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest and rock from side to side, massaging your back with the ground. Come center, rub hand to hand and foot to foot. to your side. Rest your head on your arm. Rest your body on the ground. Rest your awareness in this moment, taking in whatever it's offering. Sounds, sights, smells, sensations, thoughts, feelings, temperature. And then slowly start to press yourself up to sitting. Let your head warm up last. Come into any comfortable seated posture, sinking down into sit bones, lifting tall from the crown of the head. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Drop the chin to the